Today I'm going to take you through a full leg day workout using this EVOLPOW P3A Power Rack that they sent me to use along with the weights. You see we've got the full bumper plate set here. I just wanted to show you, if you get something like this, you can get a full lower body, upper body, chest, back, all that. I'm going to go through multiple videos of my leg push-pull days to show you how this is really a one-stop shop for everything you need. And the great thing is you don't have to wait for people at the gym, because there have been so many times where I want to do certain things, but then people are always using it and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs waiting around for my turn to use something. So we are starting out the day with squats. Now, be sure you warm up. And as we go through this, I'm going to talk about sets and reps, but I'll also have linked in the description the whole plan for the workout so you can copy and paste it and use it for yourself. So let's get started. First things first, safety rails. Please use them. I've seen way too many videos online of people not continuing in life because they're doing heavy 1-rep maxes with more weight than they can do with good form, and they get crushed because they didn't have a simple device like this. So these come with the rack. Please be sure to use them. As you're doing your warm-ups, make sure you see how low you need to go and then just set them a little below that. So if you can't get up, you just squat down and leave it there. Again, make sure you've gone through your warm-ups. We're doing the working weight now. I want to focus on slow centric, slow on the way down, and then faster on the way up. You don't want to just be going down and bouncing up. Because we're trying to build muscle here. We want to control the weight at all times. Good. And those are working sets after your warm-up, and that's pushing to failure or 1 or 2 reps shy of failure. So you got to figure out what that is for you, and failure of good form, I say, because you don't want to get down and be bending over and hurting your back or anything like that. When you can't do another rep with good form, then you're done and you move on to the next thing. If you look down in the description, you'll see it shows 2 hard sets for squats, 2 for lunges, 2 for the stiff-legged deadlifts, and then we're doing a superset after that. And the way it works is you don't want to do a whole lot. That might seem pretty easy. You're like, I can do more than 2 sets, but you don't want to be too sore. It's okay to be a little sore, but you want to be recovered by the next session. And I like to do legs push pull, and then rest. And so you want to make sure you're recovered by a few days later, because if you get to the next one, your legs are still sore, you're not going to be able to push as hard and get as much out of it. And I saw the most growth and change in my physique when I started doing this 6-day split, hitting everything twice a week pretty hard. So as you go through this, you do those 2 sets, 2 sets, 2 sets, so those first 3 exercises. And when you kind of adapt to it after a few weeks, then okay, let's add 1 more set for squats and then do that for a couple more weeks, and maybe add 1 more set for lunges and do that for a couple weeks. And the whole idea is I don't want to go over 20 working sets for a major muscle group. So for legs, we got initially 2 squat, 2 lunges, 2 stiff-legged deadlifts. So you're looking at 6 hard sets for the workout twice a week. That's 12. So then you bump that up to 1 extra squat lift. Now we go to 14 sets per week. Then we bump up 1 extra lunges. Now we're at 16. And then another stiff-legged deadlift. Now we're up to 18. So by the end of this cycle of working out and gaining intensity, we work up to 20 hard sets. And then when you take a deload, you start back over just 2, 2, and 2. And you do that over and over again. And you just keep tracking and push the weights a little bit higher each time. And then that's gonna help you out. So first set, 10 to 12 reps, second one 9 to 12, because if you only got 10, then chances are you probably won't hit 10 again on the second one. It's pretty hard with squats, but just really focus on keeping your reps consistent. Just because it gets hard, don't start going through the reps really quick. Control that eccentric, push up after that. And for squats, you can do front or back squats. When I started doing squats consistently 4 years ago, I actually started with front squats, holding the bar like this, because I didn't have the mobility to hold it like this. And that forces you to keep your back straight as you're doing it, because a lot of people I see will round over and be pushing with their lower back, and that's not good. And once I got to around 185 pounds, I started with only like 100 pounds doing squats. So you don't have to go crazy to get big quads. Just be consistent and consistently push a little bit more with good form. But that forces you to stay upright as you do your squat. And once I got to 185 and it was summer, I was sweating, the bar was starting to slide forward. Then I moved to back squats, and I was so used to keeping my back straight that helped out. And just really focus on, I pull my lats down to help think about keeping my back straight, take a breath, do your squat, come back up. I do that for each rep. And if you notice how I'm using a narrow stance with my knees forward, that really focuses on the quads and really burns them. I used to have a really wide stance. It hurt my hips more, I couldn't get as deep, and when my chiropractor suggested I try feet facing forward, a narrow stance, my quads started getting lit up on squats, so keep that in mind. So next, we're gonna move on to lunges. And this is really gonna kill those quads, and it really gets your glutes too if you haven't done them in a long time. So 2 sets is gonna be all we need. And this is one of those exercises that is more difficult because you're having to do 1 leg at a time, so it lasts twice as long. My heart rate can get up pretty high by the end of these and your legs will be burning. So 2 sets is all it's gonna take. And just like with the squats, we wanna focus on that slow eccentric. So going down slowly, I like to step backwards because if I'm not actually walking, that's easier on my knees because I'm not putting all that extra force stepping forward into my knee. If you're doing it slowly, that's not gonna happen, but ideally, you wanna go slowly down, touch your back knee to the ground and stand back up, and as soon as that foot's in place, go down on the other knee. You don't wanna stand there forever taking breaths. The idea is to keep it going, keep the muscles under tension. And it's gonna burn, it's gonna be tough, but you can push through it and get it done. Next up is the stiff-legged deadlift. Now, I used to always do hamstring curls, which are great depending on the type of machine you use, but when I started doing these stiff-legged deadlifts, it killed my hamstrings like I had never felt before. I did 1 set when I first started and my hamstrings were sore for days. So it does not take much. I have 2 sets listed in the description, but you might just want to start with 1 and see how that feels because it can be really hard. The big thing to remember is you want to keep your back really straight. I used to never do these because I was afraid of getting hurt, but I started with 65 pounds when I did it and my hamstrings were sore. So you want to stay really stiff and try to keep your knees as straight as possible. Bend them a little bit, but keep the bar close to your legs and all the way down till the weights touch, then all the way back up. And doing that slowly, just like before. Don't bounce off the ground, go all the way down till it touches, pause, then come back up. And if it gets to the point where that's too easy, you can always stand on a weight, like these plates are pretty large, and you can do deficit stiff-legged deadlifts, so you're up even higher, and you're stretching even lower down towards the ground, and that will make the exercise even more difficult. When I'm at a gym that has machine options, I will do leg extensions and leg curls, but if you're doing those squats, like I said, with a narrow stance, really focusing on the quads, along with the lunges, you're gonna be killing the quads, and you really don't need to do leg extensions as well. So if you learn how to focus on a certain muscle group, that's not even necessary. And with these stiff-legged deadlifts, if you do it right, you will kill your hamstrings. But if you do want to do leg extensions and leg curls at home, I have a bench I use at home that's pretty cheap. I'll have links in the description as well, where you can do that. You sit down, do your leg extensions, you can adjust the seat and then turn around and do lying leg curls if that's something you prefer. But these are options you can do with just this rack and setup that it comes with. And finally, we're gonna do a superset at the end. 4 sets is what we're going for here, and it's calves and biceps. And I know I said this is leg day, but for me, I like to do my biceps on my leg day because if I do it on my pull day, my arms are already tired from doing all these rowing and pulling exercises. And since there's 2 days between my leg day and my pull day, doing curls isn't gonna affect my pull day because my biceps will be recovered. And doing legs right after the pull day, it still doesn't really affect it because I'm using my biceps for those pulling exercises, but it's not the main muscle, so they're not fatigued the next day and I'm able to push hard when I do them on leg day. So we're gonna do calf raises along with some barbell bicep curls. And just like everything else, we wanna focus on a slow eccentric, so slow on the way down and then faster on the concentric, on the actual hard part of the movement. And for the calf raises, we're just gonna use the bench and put it next to one of these cables. Get the cable low enough so we can pull it up and then do calf raises. And if that's too easy, with doing both of them, which is what I prefer because I don't want to do calf raises twice. It takes a lot longer if you're doing one at a time, but if you need to, you can do one at a time and really focus on each calf. And then we're gonna go straight to the bicep curls and like we said, focus on a slow eccentric and then faster concentric, good reps. And we're gonna do the first set's a warm-up set for both of these since we haven't used the calves or biceps yet, shooting for about 15 reps, and then after that, we're shooting for 10 to 15 on all of our sets. And again, this is where one of the benefits of this rack comes in because you don't have to wait on anyone. I like doing supersets because I can get more stuff done quickly, but when you're in a gym, a lot of times machines may be on different sides of the gym. I go to do some calf raises and I come back to do curls and someone's using the dumbbells or the barbell that I was using. Go back to the calf machine, someone's on that, and you're having to sit around and waiting, but with this, there's no waiting involved because you have everything you need right here. And hey, you can do curls in the squat rack and no one's gonna care because it's your own home gym. So that's the whole leg workout. We're hitting our hamstrings hard, we're hitting the quads hard, we got calves and biceps as well. And there's some other options you could do as well with these cables. You could put them around your foot if you want to get a leg attachment, and you can do kickbacks using your hamstrings like that. You can do abduction or adduction, moving your legs sideways. There's lots of options to hit those muscles as well. But these 4 exercises will hit all of your legs and help them to grow. Focus on good form and you will get good results. Make sure you're eating enough protein every day. Know how many calories you need, because if you're not, you can do all you want here, but if you're not supplying your muscles with what they need to grow, then you're just kind of spinning your heels and not really getting anything done. So if you have any questions about this, post them in the comments. I'll help you out there. At Camber Fitness is where I'm posting my lifts and what's going on, various workout routines I'm doing. Good luck with your gains, and I'll see you in the next one.